Hi everyone, it's Karen. I'm just back to show you the project that I've been working on. It is a fabric book, and then it's combined inside is a small paper journal. I've been collecting some images of they look like snow angels or snow fairies, and I thought it would be really fun to do kind of a winter themed one this time. The album itself is about 6 inches by 7, and then there's about 4 inches of dangles on the bottom of each of the pages. There's a doily that makes up the front and goes around to the back, and it's overlaid over some really nice cream colored fabric with a bit of a tone on tone on it. And I also use a lot of laces and trims on the pages as well. I've made a bit of a snowflake flower type on the front cover here with a large snowflake bling in the center. The spine is about 1.5 inches, and it's done with 2 rows of this really nice trim with the little pearls on it. And then I've attached one of my little angels here, which could be taken off if you wanted to. And she has applique for wings and flowers for her body. And she's got a big snowflake on the top of her head and some pearl dangles on her. And then the back is, again, the back of that doily, which makes a nice frame around the edge. 2 appliques in the center here, and this beautiful braided trim around the outside of that, which is on the front too. And then this just has a more simple flower type snowflake on the back, and the little centers in these are sort of iridescent, but they have a snowflake in the center. The dangle, there's a couple of dangles on each page. So this outer one with the roses and this trim on it runs all the way around the entire outside of the book. And then underneath that one is this one, and then starts the ones from the other side of the page. And then when we open her up, this is the first 2 pages, and they're all heavily decorated with trims, laces, bling and appliques, lots of dangle on the bottom of each page. This page has this trim, which has this little wee dangle on the bottom. And then this trim here, which is was a collar, and I just put that on there and then added the pearls onto the bottom of that. And then this trim here is on this second page. Laces all on the edge so that the edge of the book looks really yummy, and I'll show you that after too. And laces at the top to finish off all the edges of the pages. This one has a vintage lace over top of that cream colored fabric that's in the background. This is the first image, little fairy sitting on a snow-covered branch. She had a little star in her hand, over her hand, so what I did was put a real little star on there with a little loop on it, so it looks like she's holding it. Pearl trim around the edge, applique here up in the corner, a trim around the edge of the binding here, and then I added these little glass, well, they're acrylic snowflakes with pearls. And this is the snow fairy in this one. And again, I've put stickles on their wings or on their dresses just to add a little bit of sparkle to them. This one has a snowflakey flower in the corner and a piece of bling, some bling around the edges of the trim around the image itself, and the trim across the top with the pearls set in. more yummy laces on the edge here. And then a little bit of bling set here. The bottom of this one is a couple of these roses that I have fussy cut out of some lace that's attached underneath here with this little bit of trim on it. And then below that is a row of the peacock trim. And I think, yeah, and then it starts the trim from the other side again. And in the corner of this one, I've made one of my little angels. You can see the laces on the edge of the pages. There's, on each page, there's laces, so lots of yumminess to this. This page has an image. I'll bring it up closer in a minute. A bit of like, again, a snowflake flower in the corner. Trim on the bottom. This one has this beautiful shimmery, it's got lots of different textures in it of a tassel type trim, and it just reminded me of like icicles hanging in the winter. And then there's a shorter trim on top, and I've added these little flower. They're flowers, but of course, you know, they look similar to snowflakes, come in all sizes and shapes. So, and then a little bit more bling added to the bottom of there. This is a pocket that I've created, or like an opening that I've put the paper journal inside, and so I will show you that as well. I'm just going to lift it up and show this image a little closer. Again, lovely little, almost like a ballerina fairy, but very wintry looking. I used some really pretty trim from Craft Supplies For You that I cut apart. It sort of has these little banners, and I cut them all separately and shaped it around that image. Added a bit of bling and some pearls, and added these little appliques. I had a few of them, and I just cut them all apart. They've got sequins on them, and I added them around the image like little snowflakes. And some beaded trim around the edge of that one, all the way around here. And more of a laced trim, looks like little, again, they're little flowers, but again, little snowflakes all the way up the side of the page. That yummy lace hanging over the edge. There's little charms attached as well. This one reminded me of a snowball, and so I attached that there with a pin and some little beads on it. The previous page has a snowflake with some little crystal beads and little pearls on that one. And this page, I'll show you the dangle here before I lay it down and take out the journal. This one again is the little snowball with a snowflake as well, little pearls hanging. And there is a close-up of that dangle, sort of tassel-y trim on the bottom of this page. And it has several different textures within it, and some are shinier than others. It just really reminded me of icicles. So this page, I've made this little spot for the paper journal to fit in, and I've put a tie that's attached behind it, and then I did sort of couple of little loopy flowers here, and I did a piece of this eyelash trim, and you can wind it around, and it allows you to be able to adjust. And then I just put a little bit of bling on that. And then when you open this up, there's a little paper journal that fits inside of here. I tied the journal closed with a bit of silver and white ribbon. And there is a paper clip. This is a paper clip on the front, so this can be moved throughout the journal to mark different pages. And then there's sort of this big snowflake on the front. I believe it's about 20 pages total, but there's loads of extra journaling space in the form of tuck spots where you could tuck things, and also journaling cards, which I'll show you. So it actually is quite got a lot of room in it for tucking things away or journaling in as well. I've just added little things, that little texture with a little bit of a blue yarn and a sparkly snowflake and some leaves. This is the first tuck spot, which you could fit quite a bit in. I've stitched all the pages, so all the way around the pages are all stitched, and also a lot of the tags are stitched as well, you'll see as I go through. So this is in the first tuck spot. I've just put one of these little envelope journaling spots because it allows for a lot of extra room for journaling, because there's all that room inside of there. Or you can tuck things into that pocket as well. This is a wax paper glassine type bag that I have made, and I've stitched the sides, and I've put this little insert in it, which is actually what's left when you punch out the snowflakes that I used throughout the journal. This is sort of the page that was left behind, and I thought it looked cool, and so I added some little snowflake bling in the center, and I put this card in behind. And I find these are useful in journals because this is quite a firm piece of cardstock. And when you're journaling, a lot of times, because there's sometimes because of the little embellishments I put in, the pages can be a bit bumpy. So this allows you to put this in behind a page and give you a harder surface to write on. And it stores really nicely just in the front in this little pocket up here, so that you always have it handy to move wherever you need it. This is the back of the glassine bag, and I put a belly band on here with some music paper and a little embellishment, and then behind the belly band I also put, this is a little pocket, and then there's just a stitched note card in there that you can also journal on, and put a little snowflake on there. This I just did I used some graph paper and I stitched around the edge with a fancy stitch, and then I put a little collage in the center here. And again, back, this one is a tuck spot on the side here, another journaling card that you can tuck in there. It's also big enough for tucking other things in as well. And this side is the actual part of the envelope that you would lift up or open. But what I've done is I've stitched it all down, and then I've made this a tuck spot. So there's a tag that I've tucked in here. And I like using vellum because it has texture and sound, and things look kind of cool through it when you're paging through your journal. So that's there, and it kind of looks cool no matter which side of it you're looking through. This page I've made a bit of a tuck spot with this ribbon I've added sewn on the edge here. And so this journaling card can slip in underneath there, but also tucks into the collage that I put at the bottom. Tape. This is the edge of a lace that I fussy cut out and put along here. I had a bit of new music paper under there, and again, pages are all stitched. This one, I had a couple of little fairy stickers, and I thought they would look pretty in here with the sort of the fairy theme, and another little trim. This is another piece of vellum, and you can see how cool that kind of looks. This is a little bit of cardstock paper that I used. This is one of those little hidden spots where you flip it up and you can have a little bit of hidden journaling spot underneath there. And this is just a little tag that I made with one of my favorite sayings on it. And the back side of that, this is the middle of the journal. These little appliques on the ends. I used the eyelash yarn this time to tie it together because I just thought it was kind of pretty. There's another, I made this into a flip spot, and that's another one of the little fairies. And this has a bit of a trim on the edge, a little bit of trim that looks like little pom-poms or snowballs on it, and just a little note card in there. And this page has got this is made from an envelope. When I adhered this pocket to the page, I left the top open at the back so that there's a spot for a journaling card to go in there. And again, the stitching on the page. The other side of that envelope with another tuck spot in there. Another the back of the envelope, and I just added in a little saying here and left this. You can journal over that. This side I added in a piece of lace, and under that some bits on a really pretty blue fabric, and that sort of can make a hidden journaling spot. And then this is another part of the glassine bag, and it's all stitched, and then I added this pretty lace, folded it over on the corner and made like a pocket and put a couple of tags in there, and some more stitching on that page. And then the very back is a pocket that I've made, which could hold other things, but I also have put another tag in there as well. So that's the little journal that fits inside here. And there's lace here, trim, another little snowflake dangle, and then on to the last 2 pages. So this is the next page, and another image of a beautiful sort of snowy looking fairy at nighttime with snow falling all around her. And I added in some beautiful lace here on the edge of the page, and trim at the top. And this is where you can see that fabric that I used as a base, and it's sort of got this tone on. And then some of them, the back side of the fabric, wherever it shows up, it has the vintage lace put on top, which you can't really see. The trouble, you start out with a base and then you keep on adding things and you end up covering it up for the most part. This one has a couple of different dangles on the bottom. And then the last page is a pocket, and I've made a little notepad to go in there out of some paper, and then I've added one of the fairies that I had left, and I've made her sort of into a postcard kind of that goes in there as well. And there's all sorts of doilies and trims and stuff on the back of that page, and then the page itself is made from some material. And then I put one of my hand crocheted snowflakes on the corner of this page, and I crochet them out of this kind of cool sparkly yarn, and then I do beading inside of the snowflake as well. And the dangle on this side is similar to the one here for the top, and then underneath that is a slightly different trim than what was on the other page. And this one has a bit of a dangle here too, with a snowflake and a blingy center on it. And there's another little dangle here, which is a crystal with some beads on it, and it just, again, just reminds me of ice and snow. And then you saw the back already, as I showed it at the beginning. So that is my current project that I have been working on for a while, and there's a lot of little details, so it did take some time to put together, but I found it a lot of fun to put together, and I think it turned out really, really nice. I'm really, really proud of this one. And if anyone's interested in purchasing this lovely fabric and paper journal, I'll leave my email in the description box below, and you can just send me an email and we can discuss if you would like to purchase this. That's everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this video on this gorgeous album that I've made, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye.